Tonight I will finally become the wealthy man I was meant to be. Sophia, this is your end.
Come on. Sophie, drink on. I have waited so many times for this moment.
Ethan, what's wrong with me? I'm losing strength.
I think you need some rest. And so, at 29 years old, Sophia Grant was one of the youngest self-made billionaires in America. Business magazines called her a genius. Investors called her visionary. Competitors called her dangerous. But Sophia never thought of herself as extraordinary. She still remembered the tiny apartment where she grew up with her mother. The peeling paint on the walls. The constant struggle to pay rent. The nights when the electricity was disconnected because there wasn't enough money. Her father had left when she was 6. After that, life became a series of battles. Sophia learned early that nobody was coming to save her. If she wanted something, she would have to earn it herself. And she did. By 16, she was teaching herself programming through free online courses. By 19, she was building software for local businesses. By 24, she launched her first technology startup from a tiny rented office with 3 employees and an old coffee machine that barely worked. Everyone told her she would fail. Instead, she changed the industry. 5 years later, her artificial intelligence company was worth billions. People admired her success. What they didn't see was the loneliness. While the world celebrated her achievements, Sophia often returned to an empty penthouse. No husband, no children.
No family except a few distant relatives she barely spoke to. The only constant person in her life was Vanessa. Sophia and Vanessa had been friends since elementary school. They had shared lunches, shared secrets, shared dreams. When Sophia's mother died during her first year of college, Vanessa spent weeks sleeping on her couch because she didn't want her friend to grieve alone. Sophia trusted her completely. There was never a reason not to. Vanessa was beautiful, outgoing, and effortlessly charming. While Sophia spent her days building companies, Vanessa preferred a simpler life. She worked in public relations and moved between jobs every few years. They were different in many ways, but their friendship survived everything. Or so Sophia believed. The first time Sophia met Ethan Walker was entirely by accident. She was leaving a technology conference in San Francisco after giving a keynote speech. It had been a terrible day. A major client had threatened to leave. Several investors were demanding changes. She had barely slept. As she hurried across the street while reading emails on her phone, someone suddenly grabbed her arm. A second later, a speeding bicycle shot past her, missing her by inches. Sophia looked up in shock. A tall man stood beside her, dark hair, warm brown eyes, and easy smile. "You should probably watch where you're going," he said. Sophia laughed despite herself. "And you should probably stop grabbing strangers." Fair point. That was Ethan. Charming, funny, confident. The kind of man who made people feel comfortable within minutes. They talked for nearly an hour outside a nearby cafe, then exchanged numbers, then started texting, then dating. For the first time in years, Sophia felt something she hadn't felt since becoming successful. Normal. With Ethan, she wasn't a billionaire CEO. She wasn't a public figure. She wasn't the woman constantly appearing on magazine covers. She was simply Sophia, a woman in love. Within months, Ethan became a permanent part of her life. Vanessa loved him immediately, or at least that's what Sophia thought. The three of them spent weekends together, vacationed together, celebrated holidays together. Looking back, Sophia would later realize the signs had always been there. The lingering glances, the private jokes, The moments when conversations suddenly stopped as she entered a room. But love has a way of making intelligent people blind, and nobody was blinder than Sophia Grant. Because while she was planning a wedding, the two people she trusted most were already planning something else, something worth billions of dollars. One by one, carefully, patiently, quietly. By the end of the week, a plan existed. A trap. And Ethan walked directly into it. The opportunity arrived during a special board meeting. Sophia announced she would reveal details regarding the commercialization of her revolutionary AI patent. The news generated enormous excitement. Executives flew in from across the country. Investors attended. Media organizations requested interviews. Even Ethan seemed thrilled. After all, he believed he would soon control much of the patent's value. He had no idea what awaited him. The meeting took place inside the company's headquarters, a massive glass auditorium overlooking the city skyline. More than 200 people attended. Board members, lawyers, executives, investors, journalists, federal investigators disguised as guests. Sophia stood backstage moments before the presentation. Her hands trembled slightly, not from fear, from anticipation. After weeks of pretending, the performance was finally ending. A staff member approached. "They are ready." Sophia nodded, then stepped onto the stage. The audience erupted into applause. She smiled, thanked everyone for attending, spoke briefly about innovation, about the future, about technology. Then she reached the final slide. The room grew quiet. Sophia looked directly at Ethan. He smiled proudly. Vanessa sat beside him. Both appeared confident, relaxed, certain victory was near. Sophia smiled back, then pressed a button. The screen behind her changed. The first photograph appeared. Ethan kissing Vanessa. The room fell silent. Total silence. Confused murmurs spread throughout the audience. Ethan's smile vanished. Vanessa stopped thing. Sophia said nothing. She simply clicked again. Another photograph. Another affair. Another secret meeting. Another lie. Gasps echoed throughout the auditorium. Ethan slowly stood,